Saturday night at Coors Field. What could be better as the Rockies entertain the LA Dodgers? Game 3 of this 4-game set. On Thursday, the Rockies were shaking hands. Last night, the Rockies fell to the Dodgers 6-2 as Clayton Kershaw got the victory. Bounding to the mound is Tyler Anderson. He's ready to go. I like what Major League Baseball is doing. I noticed this earlier when I was catching some ball games from around the league. Instead of just Sunday, it's a weekend of ping to celebrate Mother's Day tomorrow and to raise money for breast cancer research. And there's the two good friends. They're chatting from long distance. Buddy Black and Dave Roberts, two of the brightest, wittiest managers in baseball. Mike Redmond getting a kick out of their conversation as well. Leading things off for the Dodgers will be Chris Taylor. You know, if you follow LA, they have struggled against left-handed pitching. Last year, they were a couple games under 500. This year, they're at 7-7 against left-handed starters. So Dave Roberts has written out this lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Chris Taylor will lead off. Corey Seager will bat second. Justin Turner, Franklin Gutierrez, it'll be his first appearance in the series. He'll bat cleanup. Kike Hernandez fifth. Cody Bellinger's in the lineup. He drops to sixth. And Barnes, Brett Eibner getting a start. You get the picture. Yes. Many right-handed bats as Dave Roberts could afford.
Well, just the last start for Tyler Anderson is where you got to go, because the first 6 were not good for him. I know he got a couple W's, or at least one W in this first 6. But to me, it's about location. Locating the fastball, locating the changeup. If he does those two things tonight, adds and subtract, he'll be fine.
Taylor very aggressive on the first pitch, aggressive on the next one. Fair ball. Nolan flat-footed across the diamond of Mark Reynolds. 1 out.
Well, that's a good sign for Tyler to get that early ground ball, weak contact, fastball, changeup, cut fastball. And you see the changeup. I want to just focus on that for a moment, because overall this season it's 30%. But his last ball game, it was closer to 40%. And that helped him along the way because he got a lot of ground balls. So you see that 75% of the ground balls were coming off that changeup.
And that's more like he pitched last year when he had a ground ball percentage of 53%. This year, even after his last start, it's at just 41%. That's a significant difference from the guy who threw a year ago. And that's why he's, allowed a number of home runs this year also.
Yeah, he's allowed 9 home runs for Tyler. But if you're going to be a contact guy and not a high strikeout guy like Tyler, then you have to incorporate some of the off-speed pitches. Last year for Tyler, just 0.94 home runs per 9. This year, 2.23 home runs per 9 innings.
Quickly ahead of Seager, 0-2. It's got to give him confidence, Huey. Listen. Baseball steals your confidence. That's what the sport does, no matter how gifted you are.
Steal it and then go hide and throw it away and lock the key.
And one little outing, one little performance, one inning can instill that confidence again. And that's, you got to figure where Tyler is after his last outing. And he gets a strikeout on an off-speed delivery. 2 gone as he gets Seager. Here are the Rockies defensively. The Rockies, one of the best teams so far in baseball in fielding percentage. Ian Desmond, he's over in left field tonight. Gerardo Parra is going to be in center field this evening, with Charlie Blackmon at least sitting the first part of the ball game. Now Charlie's fine, scheduled day off. Carr goes in right, and then in the infield it's Nolan at third, Pat Valleca again at short. Stories on the 10-day DL. LeMahieu, Reynolds, and Ryan Hannigan doing the catching. Here is Justin Turner. And Turner swings over the top at that changeup. And if you live down there,
yes,
you're going to have a nice evening.
Yeah, go downstairs all night long. Maybe throw up every once in a while just to let them know to change the eye level. But down at the Subaru strike zone at the base, couldn't ask for much more than that.
They want up here. That's a good looking pitch just above the Subaru strike zone. 1-1 on Turner. Yesterday was a rare night for Justin. He didn't get a hit. He was 0 for 4. And still his average at 352. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that was at the very bottom of the strike zone.
Justin didn't think it was, but a few minutes ago, Mark was talking about Ryan Hanigan and got some sound from some of the guys and what it's like to throw to him. I just like the target he sets up for Tyler, real low.
And that's a great piece of hitting right there by Turner, because he basically golfed that thing to left center field. Oh, 2-out single for Turner.
Justin Turner is hitting .288 with 2 strikes. That's 9th best in the major leagues. And sometimes you make a good pitch and a guy hits it. That is case in point. The Subaru Supermo. This ball is going to be down into this area right here by the time he makes contact with it. But that's just a good piece of hitting by a major league hitter.
So here's Franklin Gutierrez, the former Seattle Mariner. 257 career hitter in 930 games. He's got some pop. And first pitch fastball at 94 for strike 1.
Gutierrez in his career just shy of 290 against lefties, 289.
Ball and a strike on Gutierrez. 85 degrees our game time temperature, so this is summer-like evening at 20th and Blake. Big crowd still arriving. They're doing the LA thing.
Arriving late?
Yes.
I don't think the freeways are quite as bad here as they are in LA.
Tell you what, though, I-25 north around 6th Avenue is getting sticky.
Yes, it is.
Actually, let me say it's not getting
no,
sticky.
It is
sticky. About the only time you want to drive on it's about 2:30 in the morning.
I hear you. Down in the tech center's no fun either.
We were talking, I think, before the game yesterday, Huey. Remember when they used to have the 45-degree line?
Yes.
You were playing back then where they put the stripe on the mound to help out with that lefty move, the first base umpire.
Yeah, I think they need to go back to it. Corey Sullivan and I were talking about that as well. Just help the umpire. So you take that guessing game out of it, and that's what cost Tyler earlier this year in San Francisco when he was called for 2 balks.
Here's the 2-1, and that's in there 2-2.
Tyler got away with that little cutter up. It was in the Subaru strike zone, but not where Ryan Hanigan wanted the pitch.
Gutierrez just gets a piece. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Franklin. Anderson, a product of the University of Oregon, which is the same school. Had Cody Bellinger not signed out of high school in the Phoenix area, that's where he was going to go to college.
ASU and U of A were going to let him get away out of the state.
I got a story on that. Swung on and missed. I'll tell you a little bit later on. Good inning for Anderson. He strikes out 2. The only blemish in Turner, base hit. See the Rockies against Alex Wood when we get back to Coors Field.
That's an update.
Many of those folks are going to be at Coors Field tonight. We know it. Last night, a crowd over 40,000. We expect at least that tonight. Game 3 of 4. Rockies and Dodgers. DJ LeMahieu striding to the plate. Normally hits in the 2 spot. His buddy Charlie Blackmon is going to be on the bench at least initially tonight. So he'll bat first for Buddy Black. Here's the rest of the Southwest batting order. Desmond slides up to the 2 spot. Then it's Nolan, Mark Reynolds. Cargo will bat 5th. Pat Valaika 6th. Gerardo Parra has good numbers against Alex Wood. He'll bat 7th. And then Hannigan and Anderson. So Alex Wood's first 2 appearances this year out of the bullpen. And he was sitting 93 to 95. And they felt like, okay, well, he was a sprinter there. He'll be 90 to 92 when he starts. He's actually been close to the mid-90s quite a bit as a starter.
Yeah, I mentioned they brought his arm slot back up a little bit. Thought he had dropped down a little too much side arm or lower 3/4 in Atlanta. And you're not going to see much deviation between those 3 pitches.
Alex Wood is a University of Georgia product, originally drafted by the Atlanta Braves. You know how those kids in the Southwest, or Southeast I should say, the Braves always gobble them up.
2nd round, 85th pick overall out of the University of Georgia.
Foul tip, it's held, and a 3-pitch strikeout of LeMahieu by Wood. The Dodgers have scuffled a little bit defensively, and they're in the lower 3rd with the gloves so far this year, at least in fielding percentage. Gutierrez is a good outfielder. Kike Hernandez will be in center. Eibner in right. Turner, Seager, Taylor, Bellinger in the infield, and Austin Barnes, who committed an error on Thursday, his first career error.
With the error they made last night, they dropped to 12th in the National League in fielding percentage, 24th in all of baseball. They're at a 980 fielding percentage.
Rockies are in the top 5 in baseball in fielding percentage. Ian Desmond knows Wood fairly well. He's faced him 18 times, 4 hits. 2 of those hits went over the fence. And a base hit for Desmond. How steady's he been?
Not bad. Hitting 5 out of his last 6 ball games. That's steady.
It's really steady, folks. When the Rockies score 7 runs or more, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Le Mas at Taco Bell. This is one of my favorite times of year, because when baseball first went to wearing pink to celebrate breast cancer awareness and celebrate moms, it was kind of a lighter pink, and now you have that fluorescent pink. How cool are those bats? Well, you got, this is my favorite, because every bat company, the pink is a little bit different, but you have an old hickory bat we're going to show you, and I love this color. Yeah,
and this is a Charlie Blackmon special, and I have to give it back on Sunday after the ball game. I can't keep it. But how neat is this?
You think Charlie will know?
Yeah, I think he would. But it's very special. And I know the guys today, when they came to the locker room and saw all their hats and their jerseys and the bats and the batting gloves and the cleats. Don't forget about the cleats too, because the guys were stoked about those. I mean, they couldn't wait to get some of this stuff on. And to your point, Drew, it's so wonderful Major League Baseball is doing it for more than just one day.
Absolutely. Desmond got a huge jump, and he's going to swipe second base. Did he stay on the bag? Yep. Another element we talk about with Ian Desmond, and Huey, that's his second. He's a smart base runner. He's got above average speed, but he's not a flyer.
No, but you steal bases when it's called for. In this one, it was called for because Alex Wood with the high leg kick. Boy, Ian slid past that bag. We saw it last night with Pat Valaika, because sometimes with the turfus on top, you just kind of glide over the top of that. You don't really dig into the dirt, and then he hits the bag, but able to hang on to it.
1-1 on Nolan. Got a good rip there. It's 1-2. Nolan hitting .345 on the homestand. The Rockies 5-3 on this homestand.
And for Ian, he is a career 76.7% success rate in stolen bases. So he's above the mark that you look for at 75. 144 in his career.
A strikeout of Arenado. It'll be left to Mark Reynolds.
Number 12, Mark Reynolds.
Mark has the pants pulled up like he always does, but just showing off those socks.
That's a pretty cool look too.
That's
Huh?
great. You know, all the guys were using their bats during batting practice today. Just trying to get a feel for them. Make sure there's enough pine tar. Would stick them, whatever you like the tackiness to be.
That's a strike. Mark is wearing Under Armour. He's an Under Armour guy, so his spikes supplied by Under Armour. Cargo's a Nike guy, and he had a couple of options. He was showing us yesterday around his locker. Cargo's always styling. Here's the 0-1, and that's a strike.
Everybody's involved too. It's Tony Diaz at first. They got new shoes, and it's Stu Cole at third. I know it's an honor for these guys to be doing this and wearing it.
Oh, 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mark Reynolds hitting .424 in the month of May. Not that April was bad. April was outstanding also. Bottom of the first, 2 outs. Desmond at second. Single and a stolen base. Back in the count at 2-2. Saturday night's been good to the Rockies so far in 2017. They're unbeaten. They're 5-0. And this ball lined to right, but it is right at Brett Eibner. So Desmond left at second. We'll go to the second inning. No score.
After Tyler Anderson pitched well last Saturday, that he had knee inflammation. We found that out after last week when he had 10 strikeouts. You can see that he has a knee brace on tonight. I was talking to Keith Duggar today, and I said, Keith, who's the head athletic trainer guy, I said, I asked Bud Black about the brace, and Bud, joking around today, said, I don't know, it's a Don Joy XS55 Magnum. And he looked at me and said, I don't know what it is, Mark. And Keith said to me, you know, he's not that far off. But what Keith did say, guys, was he actually wore a brace that was more of a sleeve. Last week, he did have it on during the game. This is more of a custom brace.
It doesn't seem to be affecting his delivery clearly.
No, it's just for stability of that knee. And what you worry about, either leg, it doesn't matter whether it's the right, because that'd be your landing leg, but the left leg's the push-off leg, the one you stabilize over the rubber with. So you would think that, okay, is this going to cause any problem? I don't see it at all right now.
0-2 is left up, and Kike Hernandez is going to get a double. And that is what Anderson was doing earlier in the year. 2 strike pitches ahead in the count that were far too hittable.
93-mile-an-hour fastball in a bad location. 0-2, I mean, you can't throw it right there. It's a mistake pitch, and Kike Hernandez makes him pay.
Leadoff double for Hernandez, and Cody Bellinger's at the plate. Last night, with the score 5-2, he hit one in the seats over the scoreboard against Jake McGee. His 7th home run in his first 16 major league games. The only guy to reach 7 home runs faster in a Dodger uniform was Matt Kemp, who hit 7 home runs in 15 games.
Well, since he's been called up, the Dodgers are 12-4.
And it's 2-0.
We talk a lot about deliveries and what you need to do, but for Tyler, he'll come up a little bit like Clayton Kershaw, but Kershaw was up just a little bit higher last night, but then he'll have the extra little hitch right there in his delivery. That allows time for the arm to get up into a throwing motion, much like you want to see as that foot is coming down, and then the delivery through on the Subaru Supermo.
Now it's a cutter fouled off the very end of the bat, 2-1. So I was telling you that Bellinger, had he not signed in the 4th round with the Dodgers out of high school, was going to go to the University of Oregon. He said, I don't know why. He goes, I hate the rain. And I said to him tonight, I said, what about Arizona State or the U of A? He said, they didn't recruit me. I said, what?
Yeah.
He said, neither one of them recruited him.
And then he goes in the 4th round. I mean, that maybe tells you why ASU this year is 21-25, sitting in 9th place in the Pac-12.
That's off his foot. This guy's down the road from you.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Get a tuition break. He's in state.
He's in Scottsdale. I mean, it's not. He's not over.
You might not even have to
he's,
give him room and board. He might even stay home.
He could.
That's bad scouting.
Right now, he'd be a junior.
Yeah.
Instead, he's in the big leagues, swatting big flies. 2-2. Anderson needs to make a pitch here. Now he's gone full on Bellinger. Austin Barnes on deck. Runner going, and it's fouled off. Always a concern when you have a runner at second and a lefty on the mound.
And at times, if Tyler has had a problem, it has been out at second base with the guys just being able to take off. And it's easier on a lot of left-handers. They have that blind spot, they take off, you can't speed up your delivery. With the right-hander, he sees them out of the corner of his eye. As they take off, you speed up, you make a quicker delivery to home. Now Pat, well, they get short, it's got to stay right behind him. Just keep jockeying.
Got him. Big strikeout of Bellinger, 1 out. 3rd strikeout for Anderson. He had 10 in his last outing against Arizona.
Yeah, 9 of the 10 came in the last 11 outs that he had. Elevate for effect, and they did to get Bellinger. Nice recovery from Tyler after being behind in the count 2-0.
Austin Barnes at the plate. This Dodger offense has been smoking hot. We know coming in they'd won 5 straight before the Rockies derailed them on Thursday. But over the last 13 games, they've hit .301 with 17 home runs, 81 driven in.
And they've also hit 31 doubles during that time. Dave Roberts, gives a lot of credit to Bellinger and what he's brought.
Anderson's going to be very mindful of Hernandez, because Hernandez here figures to again look for an opportunity with just 1 out to get to third. Not going, and this ball lined to center field, and Parra misjudged it. It's going to go to the wall. A run will score, and going to second is Austin Barnes.
Gerardo took 3 steps in on this baseball and then had to retreat. Ball was hit hard.
It was hit hard.
It was hit hard, but that's the mistake as an outfielder. So Parr comes in. By that time, he can't recover. Gerardo has 198 games in his career. But it's been almost a year since he's been out or started a game out in center field.
And he's earned a Gold Glove in the past, so it's not like he's a subpar outfielder. But that time, again, he hasn't played center much this year, and that ball froze him, and it cost the Rockies a run. One on Brett Eibner, a product of the Arkansas Razorbacks. They had a tough year last year in the SEC. They've been terrific this year. It's a school that's come into Colorado and recruited a little bit.
Every once in a while, they'll pluck somebody out of Colorado.
Our buddy Casey Opitz is headed to Arkansas next year.
A long time ago, Brad Mulvaney.
There goes the runner, and the throw to third's not going to get him. Austin Barnes, the catcher, who's a converted middle infielder, swipes third base.
Second stolen base on the year for Austin, the 13th by the Dodgers. And this one's on Tyler with that extra hitch in his delivery, allows a 3 or 4 extra strides by the base runner.
Rockies will bring the infield in, down a run with Eibner at the plate. Eibner has some big league time with Kansas City and Oakland. Eibner walks. That'll bring up Alex Wood. Similar situation last night. We saw a couple of bunt attempts, and ultimately the Rockies got an out at the plate.
Alex Wood on the season, 1 for 12, does not have a sacrifice bunt in his career. 158. Little sun problem for Mark Reynolds at first base.
And that is a great bunt. It'll score a run. Rockies will get the out at first. And it's 2-0.
Well, remember last night that Chase Utley, prior to being thrown out at home with the bunt attempt that went foul, it was more like a safety squeeze. As soon as this ball is bunted by Alex Wood, Austin Barnes at third base is breaking down the line. So watch the ball go down, and then he's off like a rocket. Heck of a play from Nolan to get the out at first base, because he had to come in and barehand that and throw over to DJ, who was covering.
Top of the order, Chris Taylor. As Eibner's at second base, 2 runs in here for the Dodgers in the second. Strike 1. Taylor up and down with the Mariners the last few years. Mentioned this the other day in the minor leagues. He hit .314 career average. Short right field, and DJ in foul ground will make the catch. The Dodgers get 2. On Root Sports is brought to you by the 2017 Toyota Tundra in your hometown Toyota stores, and by Southwest Airlines. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. A tough second inning for the Rockies. A misjudged line drive produces a run and sets up the second run. And so now the Rockies will have to fight uphill against Alex Wood. Shift is on for Cargo. And he's going to bounce one up the middle.
That's how you beat it.
Yep. A lead single for Gonzalez. That'll bring up Pat Valleca.
That makes Cargo 6 for his last 9. I saw him go into this same spot a couple nights ago. Really, his shortstop is in no man's land to me. Either you're playing shortstop or you're playing third base, but he was a hybrid in a no man's land.
Will you help me out with that? We've talked about this over the last couple of years. A lot of smart people in baseball. How is that positioning? What are you defending?
You get nothing out of it. You're not defending the bunt, and you're not defending the ground ball.
No, you have no you have no range there.
That's what I mean. It's almost like playing infield in on that left side for no reason, because where he started, he's not going to be able to get a bunt.
It's like a tennis player who comes in halfway. They're not at the net, and they're not behind the baseline. Call it no man's land. Valleca pops this to shallow left. Gutierrez coming on. 1 out.
Center fielder, number 8, Gerardo Parra.
So that'll bring up Gerardo Parra. 3 for 4 lifetime against Wood. How about this, Huey? The Rockies haven't hit a home run in 4 games and now 39 innings. That's unusual.
It is, and you know, I get it maybe a little bit in the Cubs series because it was cold, damp, ball wasn't traveling. Maybe last night Kershaw, but this ball club sometimes they can hit a home run out of the Grand Canyon. So to go that many games without it is unusual.
Milwaukee leading the National League behind Eric Thames. 1-1.
Washington's on that list with Harper and Zimmerman. Harper just got an extension. They already signed him for next year.
This is an arbitration year. It was just under $22 million they signed him for next year. And this is going to be a base hit. Good effort by Taylor. The glove flip skied Corey Seager, which is hard to do because he's 6'5".
Closing on 6'6".
So 2 on 1 out for Hannigan.
Well, this is Chris Taylor's only option. Broken bat, but hit in a good spot. Taylor, when he goes to flip, it gets too much wrist on it, and it is a base hit for Gerardo. You know, when you're trying to flip a ball out of your glove, you really have to kind of keep a stiff wrist, because if you're not, it's like a highlight. Remember old highlight down in Florida, watching those?
You throw a pop instead of a
instead
drive.
of a line drive.
Yeah. Well, Hannigan's been good so far. 350 average, 349 lifetime at Coors Field. Rockies down 2-0, 1 out. Cargo at second, Parra at first. Hannigan out of the 8th spot in the lineup.
All right, 3 for 9 with runners in scoring position. That big 3 RBIs on that bloop single to center against the Cubs. Part of that 6-run inning they had.
0-2 on Hannigan. Change up away, 1-2.
Wood ran away from both of those change-ups. Just left his arm behind. Now it's a good count again for Ryan. Got back to even.
Two outs as Hannigan goes down swinging. Third strikeout tonight for Alex Wood. That'll bring up Tyler Anderson. Fans join in on the conversation. Send us your statements, your thoughts, your questions to Twitter or Instagram. Use the hashtag Toyota Talk. So give you a little update on some happenings with the Rockies. Tony Walters played in his first game yesterday, caught 6 innings, went 0 for 3. Tonight he's the DH with Albuquerque, and he hit a home run.
That's what DHs do, right? They just hit bombs.
They hit bombs, big strong guys, right? Tony will catch tomorrow in Nashville with Albuquerque, and then he'll rejoin the club if all goes as scheduled on Tuesday. John Gray still in the boot, but don't be dismayed by that. They're following protocols. John is not. There hasn't been a setback.
No, and I saw John 2 days ago. I think it was 2 days ago. They's kind of running together now. But he was throwing a bullpen in the boot, and there was no hesitation when he was throwing.
The good thing he's been able to keep the arm reasonably in shape. There's going to be, once he's full go on that foot, it's going to take some time to build up again and work off the mound. Whenever a pitcher gets hurt, it takes a lot longer than typically a position player. One, two. And Wood strikes out Anderson. The Rockies leave 2 aboard. To the third we go, 2-0 LA.
About his progression, and I actually had a chance to ask him today because it's been a month since he's had that boot on, and here's what he told me earlier today.
I thought it was going to be a one-day thing and I'd be out of it, but it's going to be we're going to take it off for an hour a day and work on mobility and strength, and then take it off to 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, and then eventually be off of it. So yeah, it seems like a slow process right now, but yeah, I'm just happy to be able to get out there in 3 to 4 weeks.
So yeah, what he said was when they said you to take the boot off, he thought it was for good that day, but no, as he said, it's going to progress slowly but surely. But as you said, Drew, that's just the way these things work out.
It's a process, and you got to make sure it's right. And it always takes longer with a pitcher. Corey Seager, Justin Turner, Franklin Gutierrez, 2, 3, and 4 in the Dodger lineup. Tyler Anderson, solid first inning. Then he gave up 2 in the second. And what set the stage for it, that's a strike, was the 0-2 double he gave up to Kike Hernandez leading off the second inning. He's in position, obviously, to get Hernandez. And then Austin Barnes, with 1 out, hit a line drive right at Parra, who went in first, and because he misjudged it, cost the Rockies. Look out, collision at first. Reynolds pops up, he's out, and Corey Seager and Mark Reynolds tap each other. The throw a little bit high from Nolan.
That was just a train wreck waiting to happen.
Third baseman.
Nolan gets the ball fine, gets it, the Subaru Supermo, and then had to rush right at the end, and that caused the throw to go high, but Mark staying on the bag. And give Corey Seager a little credit, because he pulled up at the end, knowing where Mark was, and trying to avoid a serious collision.
Here's Turner. That was a little weird. What happened with Nolan on the ground ball?
Well, once he caught it, he kind of looked at it in his hand for a second. I think he went forward with the glove just because he knew he was going to get a short hop. Okay, right here, he knew he was going to get a short hop, so that's why he went out there and got it on the Subaru Supermo. But then he took a little extra time, not realizing, I don't think, how close Corey Seager was.
All worked out, and Reynolds is okay. Strike on Turner with 1 out. And Turner held up, according to Kerwin Danley. Turner, a lifetime .363 hitter against the Rockies. Gene Segura, Rockies will see him. He's leading the American League in hitting. He's back now with Seattle after being with Arizona last year. Desmond, and look out. Was it caught? Yep, Parra caught it. Did he get clipped at all by Desmond?
I don't think he did.
This is great evidence of why, when you take a guy out and you think, oh, it's not going to be a big deal. It's not a knock on Parra. It's just communication and feel for one another. With Blackman out of there, it's different.
And I think Gerardo thought maybe Ian was going to get it, and then realized he wasn't going to get there, and had to slide at the end on the Subaru Supermo to make the catch, and then Ian getting out of the way. You laugh about it, say, I got you.
Already plenty more balls in the air than in the last outing for Tyler Anderson, where nobody could hit it out of the infield against him.
A lot of soft contact in that game.
Well, an outfielder never made a play.
With that whole game. That whole game, there was no assist by an outfielder or put out.
2-0 on Gutierrez. He struck out his first time. Rockies leading the Dodgers by 1.5 games in the NL West. Bill Miller says strike 1. Sentiment,
Melissa.
yeah, Melissa.
Yeah.
That's
glad no one got hurt
everybody's sentiments. He's rooting for the Rockies. Change up 2-2. Rockies will have the top of the order next inning. Nolan fires across. It's a 1-2-3 third inning for Tyler Anderson. Well done. 2-0 LA. Leading things off, DJ LeMahieu. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. And by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. To the third we go with Jeff Houston and Mark Stout. I'm Drew Goodman. The Rockies will get their second look at Alex Wood. They trailed 2-0. DJ struck out on 3 pitches in the bottom of the first. First time he's batted leadoff this year. 11 times a year ago. 28 times in his career.
The second time through the lineup, guys will have a clearer picture of how Alex Wood is delivering the baseball. Guys are also hitting .273 this second time through.
Wood, who's had a resurgence here with the Dodgers, has an 11+ ERA at Coors Field.
That's 4th all-time at Coors Field, a minimum of 4 starts.
4th worst.
2 times in about 3 days, Edwin Jackson gets in.
This is kicked by Seager, and DJ thought about it. That'll be a base hit, based on where Seager was. The Rockies have 4 singles, and for the second straight inning, they have the leadoff man on.
3 sing-high singles.
Desmond line single to center in the first inning and stole second. But Nolan struck out, and Mark Reynolds squared one up, but it was a line drive right at the right fielder, Brett Eibner.
That blue hat on Alex Wood. I'm not wearing the pink one. That has to be his choice.
Yeah, because they have, naturally, every team had the hats with the pink trim. And that's called strike also.
Because
for whatever reason, I don't know if that one didn't fit him or
he just didn't like the feel of it, didn't want to wear it. Once the pitcher decides, and the other 8 guys that are playing have to go along with it. It's kind of like when they normally pick out the jersey color.
1 out.
Third baseman, number 20.
5 strikeouts for Wood. Off an 11 strikeout ball game against the Pirates. Using that old hickory bat like the one you showed off that was made for Charlie Blackmon.
A lot of these.
That swing was like he didn't pick up the baseball.
Well, and that's what they've been saying about Alex Wood this year more than any other time, that guys are having trouble picking up the ball against him. 179 batting average against. He throws it behind him. But that's a tardy swing, and at 6'4", you lose track of where it is.
Oh, he almost threw that past 6'5" Cody Bellinger.
Bellinger had to get up, get out and around DJ.
Nolan's not picking him up.
Not at all. First he was tardy on the fastball, then just didn't pick up this changeup on the side on the Subaru Supermo. The hand drops behind. That was a changeup, but then he just torques it at the end and even has to hop.
He takes a long stride, doesn't he?
Really long stride.
Big guy, he's 6'4".
This is his mark right out in there.
Nolan, in his last 16 games against the Dodgers, hitting .379 with 6 home runs, 15 driven in. He scored 15 runs, a .1239 OPS. They want the changeup again. Six strikeouts. He has struck out 6 of the first 12.
That changeup had cut action on it. Didn't have the fade. It cut in to Nolan. Changeups are supposed to go away. That acted more like a slider.
You know, his changeup that reminded me of Jorge De La Rosa's.
Right, because you're not quite sure what it's going to do or which way it's going to go. Really drop and drive sort of action from Alex Wood.
Wood's been piling up the strikeouts, and he's getting a much higher number of ground balls by percentage than he had previously in his career.
Over 62% this year. Last year was 53.5%.
One and one on Reynolds.
Mark shaking his head. He wants that pitch back.
The Rockies got a base hit from LeMahieu and then 3 straight strikeouts. So Alex Wood, 7 punch outs in 3 innings, 2-0 Dodgers. Fourth inning. Here's our CenturyLink high-speed challenge question. Pretty straightforward tonight. Go to @RigSports_arm to cast your vote. We'll show the results during the post-game show. A friendly reminder: are you prepared for Mother's Day? Yay or nay?
Yay. You?
Yay.
You are?
Shockingly.
Did I say that with the right inflection?
Reasonably so.
Been partners a long time. I know you.
Is tomorrow Mother's Day?
Yeah.
Kike Hernandez doubled on an 0-2 pitch his first time up.
Especially for Chrissy, having to take care of 4 boys.
That's not inaccurate. I don't have a response to that. 1-1. Heat's off you. You're empty nesters
right.
now.
Ball down.
And he's good. Oh, Nolan caught the ladder.
Perfect timing on the leap.
I didn't think he was going to be able to get this.
I wasn't sure. Then catching it with a little snow cone. Jump higher. There you go. Gorgeous look on the Subaru Supermo.
Not bad ups.
No. That's a hard ball, too, for an infielder, because when do you go? When do you start your jump? Wasn't hit particularly hard, had a little hump back to it.
Here's Bellinger. Strike 1 on Bellinger. He struck out on a 3-2 pitch his first time up. Good spot. There was pink catcher's gear sent to each of the catchers in Major League Baseball, but a lot of times you want that stuff broken in already, because I'm noticing Ryan Hannigan, is wearing his normal gear.
That's a little different than asking somebody to put a hat on or wear batting gloves or a bat or cleats. These guys don't have a problem breaking out a new pair of cleats and wearing them for a game that night. You really don't have to break them in. That's why I'm a little surprised that Alex Wood didn't. I don't know if he didn't want to wear the cap or didn't fit, but it's one night, and a lot of the money that's raised from the proceeds of the auction that they have for the game-worn jerseys go to the breast cancer foundation.
Susan B. Komen Foundation. Two and two on Bellinger with 1 out.
If you're wondering where that stuff is going to be auctioned, it'll be on MLB.com. Once it's authenticated, even the grounds crew, Raz and his crew, are representing.
And Anderson's gone full again on Bellinger. Last night Kershaw beat the Rockies. Well, he said he didn't have great stuff. He produced his 20th career win against Colorado. Most any pitchers accumulated against the Rockies. He was in a tie with Randy Johnson. He went 2 outs. That's 4 strikeouts for Anderson.
For Kershaw, he's 20-6 against the Rockies. But this next number I'm going to give to you, it just kind of blows you away. When he gets 4 more runs of support, undefeated, 89-0. Come on, he didn't kick one once.
Evidently not. Austin Barnes, a double and a run scored. He has an RBI and a stolen base.
For just the 3rd time tonight, Tyler didn't throw a first pitch strike.
Anderson ready. 1-1, 2 outs. Dodgers up 2-0. Both runs in the second against the Rockies. And that's a foul ball. This is an interesting one. There's so many different metrics to try to gauge how a guy is doing. It's time for our unlimited baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile. Pitchers in the National League this year, exit velocity, lowest average exit velocity. Michael Wacha having a good year for the Cardinals, just 82.9 miles an hour. Kenta Maeda has an ERA around 5, but he's coming off a strong performance. Anderson is 3rd in the league in lowest average exit velocity. So by that metric, I think he's pitching better than a 6.69 ERA that he brought to the ballpark. If you include the American League guys, he's right behind Irvin Santana, who the Rockies will see next week in Minneapolis, and Santana's having an unbelievable season. So there is some merit to that.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just bad luck. Or it might be a pitch or two per ball game for Tyler.
That's kind of been the case for Tyler Chatwood.
Yes.
It's been 1 inning.
1 inning.
And instead, for Chatwood, giving up a marker or two, he's had some crooked numbers in those innings where
3, 4, 5.
Yeah, you just can't get out of it. Ditch the prom for the game. Listen, we all love baseball. We love the Rockies. Go to your prom. 2-2. You get 1 prom. There's 162 ball games. You have your phone with you, right? Take frequent breaks and sneak a peek on your app, your MLB app. Two.
Yeah, I think I'd have to go the prom.
I'm sure the guy's date was thrilled.
Unless you come to the game and they go to the dance afterwards. Maybe that's it. 6 o'clock start. It's possible.
3-2. Now they have the prom, they have the after prom, they have the after prom.
Yeah, you just had that last weekend, didn't you?
Still recovering.
Yeah, I woke up the next morning from a text from you at 2:30 in the morning.
Me dealing blackjack.
Yes.
3-2. And this is pop foul and out of play. That guy didn't think he was getting that pop-up. When that thing went up, he wasn't even going to look where it landed. Next thing you know, the ball's bounding in his direction.
Everybody's okay.
Strikes out to end the 4th. That's 8 in a row retired by Anderson. Get him some runs. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 2-0 LA.
Down 2-0, bottom of the 4th inning. Rockies baseball is always live with the MLB.com at Bat mobile app. Excuse me. Stay connected all season with video highlights, stats, news, and much, much more.
Cargo had a base hit up the middle his first time, and he takes strike 1. And again, that odd shift is on, and that Seager, the only guy on the left side, he was on the grass. Now he goes back 3 steps.
He should still be kind of back because he's not going to get a bunt. Why not go ahead and go back way over here? So your range is cut down if you're in that close.
Talk to Buddy Black at the end of this half inning, the Rockies dugout. 4 singles tonight for the Rockies. They twice have had the leadoff man on, but Alex Wood has struck out 7 in the first 3 innings.
And a low pitch count.
He's thrown only 14 balls.
49 pitches. He'd have gone just one time longer than 5 innings in his 5 starts. 6 innings is to be exact, and over 90 pitches just once. Good catch, Cargo.
Yeah, it ends up coming up and sticking in his hand.
Foul ball. I'll just throw it back to the ball boy in the dugout.
1 out. And that'll bring up Pat Valaika. He popped to left field.
Number 4, Pat Valaika.
Wood is the 3rd of 4 lefties the Rockies are facing in this series. Tomorrow, Julio Urias, the 20-year-old. The Rockies 9-4 against left-handed starters this year. And a strike on Valaika. I'm interested to hear what Buddy Black relays to us as to what his hitters say about Wood. They're clearly not picking him up.
That's not a good feeling when you're at the plate. You're just searching the whole time. You never feel like you're comfortable when you stand in the box. When you can't pick up the baseball.
Valaika down the line. Turner throws him out from a knee. It's a dandy play by Justin Turner for the 2nd out.
Well, he got some help from Bellinger at first base. So for so many years, you're used to seeing Adrian Gonzalez over there, who's on the DL for the first time in his career, pick guys up. Turner dives, knowing he doesn't have time to get up from his knees, and then one hop and an in-between hop for Bellinger, and he's battling the sun.
Tremendous play by Turner for the 2nd out. Parra had an infield hit his first time. You know, I'm looking at that hat. I got a text from a friend of mine, and looking at that hat a little more closely, he may be wearing that hat with the insert on it to protect his head, and that may be why he's wearing the blue hat.
Certainly could be a possibility.
Doesn't it look a little thicker?
It does, but it's hard to tell.
1, 2, 3, fourth inning. We go to the fifth. The Rockies trailing 2-0. That looks good. Buddy Black's going to join us in exactly 60 seconds. The skipper's kind enough to join us. Question number one, looking at the swings, it appears the Rockies aren't picking up Alex Wood. What are they saying when they come back to the dugout?
Well, they're not saying much, except that the 3-pitch mix is pretty solid. You know, he's got a little bit of funk with that leg kick and hides the ball real well behind him, Drew, and we're just not seeing it.
Yeah, on the flip side, Tyler Anderson had that second inning where he had the 0-2 count, gave up the base hit, and then the ball out to center field, but still has 5 strikeouts, 4 groundouts.
Yeah, he's throwing the ball well, I think that you're right. 2 balls up to Hernandez and Barnes, you know, cost him, but he's throwing the ball. He's throwing the ball very well.
Hey, buddy, we appreciate it.
Thanks,
Good luck
buddy.
the rest of the way.
All right, guys.
So it'll be 8-9-1 for the Dodgers against Brett Anderson. Did I say Brett Anderson? How about Tyler Anderson? Brett Anderson did throw for the Rockies. He's now a Cub, and he's on the DL. It was Brett Eibner coming up, and Tyler Anderson on the hill, thus the faux pas. I hope I'm forgiven.
Well, we've done it with Austin Barnes calling him Austin Hedges a couple times during the game, so it happens. It happens.
Live television.
Yeah, we don't have a delete button or a reset.
We do have a cough button. Here's the 1-0 on Eibner. Outside, 2-0. Rockies 4-3 against the Dodgers this year. And in the NL West, they are 17-9. Gonna get out of the division for a while on this next road trip. This will be an interesting one, Huey. Minneapolis to see the Twins, who are playing good baseball, on to Cincinnati. See the Reds, they've been solid. And then to Philadelphia.
And it also starts a stretch of 20 straight for the Rockies.
They have an off day Monday. This ball's well hit the center field. And it's going to get on out of here. Eibner leaned on that one, and it's 3-0.
First home run of the year for Brett Eibner. The 10th home run that Tyler has given up. And there was no doubt about that pitch once it left the bat. Wanted it down, and it went back to the middle portion of the plate. Eibner didn't miss it. Tyler's reaction lets you know. As soon as it's hit, he put his head down.
Strike on Alex Wood. Each run is huge, the way Wood is throwing the baseball.
That was the location. That last pitch to Alex Wood, that was the location they wanted on the pitch to Eibner.
Justin Turner pointing out where that landed. He just got the distance on it, estimated at 465 feet. That's one of the longer home runs in baseball this year. That was mashed. 1-2 on Wood. And Wood's got to go. 6 strikeouts for Anderson.
Don't forget tomorrow's Mother's Day once again. First 10,000 fans tomorrow will receive a Rockies tote bag courtesy of Chick-fil-A.
Chris Taylor, the second baseman, ground ball to third, and he fouled out along the first base line to DJ LeMahieu. The Dodgers have forever been built around pitching, and this year is no different. Dodgers starters lead the National League with a 3.44 ERA. They have 16 wins. That's number 1. A 119 WHIP, which is number 1. Their strikeout to walk ratio 3.22. 3.22 Ks for every walk. That's number 1. And then their bullpen, they lead the National League with a 2.85 ERA, just in front of the Cubs now.
And then factor in what you were mentioning earlier in the broadcast about their offense and the way they're hitting over 300 in the last 13 games.
That's why they've been high.
11 out of the last 14, 6 out of the last 9 out on the road.
That home run by Eibner, the 7th longest in, excuse me, the 8th longest in baseball this year. 2-2. Taylor, or excuse me, Jake Lamb against the Rockies has the longest. That was down at Chase Field when he hit one 481 feet. And that was that against Tyler? It was left on left.
Yes, it was.
And a strikeout of Taylor.
That was in that 5th inning of that game in Arizona.
2 outs. Corey Seager will come up. Seager a strikeout and a ground ball to third. Rockies will have Hannigan, Anderson scheduled, and then the top of the order in the bottom of the 5th. Interesting that Seager chokes up a little bit. He still creates great leverage. He has a ton of bat speed.
A lot of times bat speed's just what you're born with. You can work on it and slightly improve it, but sometimes it is what it is.
It's kind of like the guys that have, you know, more quick twitch muscles.
Yes. Guys that can throw harder. I mean, you work on it, you try to refine it.
Improve it.
Yeah.
Left field for Desmond. Ian's got it. A home run in the inning from Eibner. And it's 3-0 LA, middle of 5.
coaches and players were at Buckley Air Force Base out in Aurora. They had a baseball clinic for the kids there. I know Trevor Story was there, Scott Oberg, Herman Marquez, John Gray. The 460th Space Wing is at Buckley, and they do some space-based missile warning capabilities. And there was a nice tweet from the Rockies thanking everyone who came out today and had a blast at Buckley Air Force Base. Kyle Freeland, guys, actually said he played there when he was in high school and also down in the Springs at the Air Force Academy.
Well, we thank all our men and women at Buckley Air Force Base and all of our military installations here domestically and around the world. And I know the guys get a huge kick out of those opportunities.
Just had a change of command out of Buckley this last week. Wendy went out to that. A friend of ours was retiring.
Cool.
Mike Edwards. So enjoy retirement, Mike.
He's earned it.
Yes, he has.
2-1 on Hannigan. 2-2 on Hannigan.
Yeah, I used to enjoy going down to the Air Force Academy and playing when I was at Wyoming, going down there.
Some ping pong matches played at the Air Force Academy now.
Yeah, there was.
I was watching a game earlier this year down there between Air Force and the University of New Mexico, so it's a league game. And it was New Mexico had 20 runs.
So
and Air Force, they were in double digits also.
Arena baseball is what you're saying? A lot of runs being scored.
This ball sharply hit to Bellinger, 1 out.
That 3-2 count, that's the first time today that Alex Wood had a 3-ball count.
The Rockies have 4 hits. None of them hit particularly hard. Wood has struck out 7. And there's been 1 ball in the outfield. That was Mark Reynolds' line drive to right field in the first. Another strike. You know, finishing second in most events is worthy of a visit to the podium. In baseball, you can't finish second. Anderson's put together, you know, a solid night. Gave up the home run to Eibner. But right now, Wood keeps throwing up zeros.
A lot of strikeouts, weak ground ball outs. It's still just 67 pitches for Alex Wood.
DJ has 1 of the 4 hits for the Rockies. And DJ with his 2nd hit of the night.
Alex tried to quick pitch him. With the fast motion. Doesn't phase DJ. Watch how fast Alex Wood goes. Right here, speed it up. No. I work with other people, but not for DJ on the Subaru Supermo. Stays behind the baseball. And one of the best at going the opposite way.
Ian Desmond 1 for 2. DJ now with his 16th multi-hit game this year, which matches Ryan Zimmerman for the league lead. Desmond has a 2-0 count. That has been a rarity this evening. Huey mentioned just one 3-ball count. Looking for a little 2-out magic or the Rockies.
With his fastball, when it's down, it can cut, it can sink. When it's up, it has run on it. So it just kind of stays on that same plane depending on where he throws it.
Here's the 2-1, but first a check on LeMahieu. Wood is 3-0. First time in his career he's ever started the year with 3 straight wins. This ball hit a long way, but it's foul.
As Alex Wood in his career is 30-30. 350, 332 ERA and 82 starts.
Taking a lot of time. That is strikeout number 9 tonight for Alex Wood. He continues to baffle the Rockies through 5 innings. It's 3-0 Los Angeles. By Southwest Airlines, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Saturday night at 20th and Blake. Remember that late arriving crowd we were discussing? They're all here now. Too many empty seats. I have to tell you what. Other than Dodger Stadium, which is, massive. When you come to Coors Field and you look around, especially a young player, you look up everywhere, you see people and 3 decks, even with the reconfiguration of the rooftop. We have hundreds of people. It's cool, leaning on the banister, looking in on 2 different levels. This is a gorgeous park.
Yes, it is. And then with the sunset on top of it, can't beat it.
No, right in the heart of Lodo. Justin Turner with a 2-1 count. Turner a single. And robbed of a hit on a sliding catch by Parra. There's a little miscommunication between Parra and left center field and Desmond. It was Parra who slid and made an interesting catch. For a moment, like the two were going to collide. Gerardo get the start in center field. Charlie Blackmon is getting the evening off.
And then to reach last possible moment, gets that on the ground, just above the ground. There's 7 flyouts. Excuse me, 4 flyouts for Tyler, 4 groundouts, 7 strikeouts.
He's got big numbers against Tyler Anderson. 2-2. See if Anderson can get him here. He will. Franklin Gutierrez will be next. He's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground ball to third for Gutierrez. .44 is a cool number. Just thought about that. 44 is cool in football.
Yeah.
You can be a running back or a defensive back. It's a gifted 44s. 44 is a legendary number at Syracuse. They don't give it away much. Got to be a real stud to wear 44.
Do they even give it away anymore there?
If you are special enough, they will give you 44. What numbers out there just go, you know what, that's just a cool number. Everybody I know I can think of who wore that number is cool.
Well, I know there's going to be a lot of people in New York tomorrow thinking number 2 is pretty cool.
And I saw him last night on Jimmy Fallon. He is cool.
If you think here, the Broncos, number 7. 7's a cool number.
7's cool out here, absolutely. Did you watch that last night on Jimmy Fallon?
No, I missed it.
Derek G. Some guys just got it.
Yeah.
They have it all. He's got it.
He's got it. He might have got a baseball team soon.
Yeah, why not? 1-2. That's line to right, a base hit. Cargo try to cut it off before the wall. He can't do it. And Gutierrez has a double.
Cargo played that the only way he could.
It's the 150th career double for Gutierrez. Nice little milestone. And Jock Peterson's going to run for him, play defense. Now they're going to act like 11-year-olds for a moment.
Gutierrez taking that cut fastball the opposite direction. Cargo got it back in. Gutierrez his 3rd double this year. Calls time, takes off the pad, but doesn't matter. He could have just brought it back in with him because Jock Peterson's running.
So he'll go to center field next inning. Kike Hernandez, I'm sure, will move to left. And Buddy Black's coming out. Buddy's going to do all he can to keep this a 3-run game. No signal yet. Maybe just getting Oberg some more time. Maybe not.
I think Scott thought he was in the game because he started to walk towards the gate out in the bullpen.
Sometimes managers want to deliver a message themselves rather than have a courier, or B, they want to look in the pitcher's eyes.
That was more of a pitcher's eyes. I'm going to let you try to navigate through this now. At least one more hitter. Then you got the lefty Bellinger after that.
Good pitch. Hernandez a double and a line drive to third. Great leaping catch by Nolan. when the buck stops with the manager, and when the W's and the L's are hung next to the manager's name, there are times you want to make sure you're the one who is delivering the message or asking the questions.
And that's where, to me, Buddy has a great feel. Being in that situation before in his career, he's been a pitching coach, manager, but he has that feel when he goes out and talks to a pitcher.
We told you about the great mutual respect and the great friendship that Dave Roberts and Buddy Black share. And Dave Roberts was describing something about Buddy the other day to him, and he said, that's what Buddy does. He instills confidence in everybody he's around. He's done that with his young starting rotation. 2 strikes on Hernandez.
This game's about keeping your confidence.
And the game is always trying to wrestle it away from you.
But that's why you need somebody to, even when you're down a little bit, to say, I believe in you. I've got you. I understand where you've been, where you're coming from. But here you are. I think you can do it.
You know, I'm sure it can come from a multitude of sources, but at the end of the day, the manager writes your name in the lineup, and you want that guy to believe in you. And I'm sure you had a lot of times a teammate came up to you, goes, I've seen you do it 1,000 times, man. Go get it done. Slapped you in the butt. You went up there and you had to strut to yourself, right?
You did. You were just like, okay, I'm the man.
Swung on and missed, and Hernandez is gone for the 2nd out in the 6th. Tyler Anderson with his 8th strikeout.
And then after the manager goes out to talk to you, you come back with the strikeout.
And now you'll go left on left against Bellinger. We know how dangerous he is, but Anderson has struck him out twice. Peterson at second base, running for Gutierrez, who had doubled with 1 out. Where's that?
Ooh, must have been low.
No, it wasn't. It was
not
right
at all.
How do you miss that?
You can't. I mean, that's all over the Subaru strike zone. It's not like just catching the bottom portion of it.
It's like right down the middle, pretty much. Well, adversity. Minor adversity. Instead of 0-1, it's 1-0.
Ryan Hannigan there, just a little pat on the chest of Tyler. Say, come on.
This will be Anderson's last inning, you would think. He's at 97 pitches. Buggy whip swing, no baseball, 1-1. Love the gray, the gray and the pink on the hats for the Rockies. One, good pitch. Right on the outside corner, it's 1-2.
Set up away, and then Ryan just holds it. Bill Miller.
Hannigan moving late, so Peterson can't give location away to Bellinger. 1-2. And he got him with a slider. No, he didn't. He wanted it. I don't know how Bellinger didn't offer it that. 2-2, just off the plate.
Yeah, you can see on the Subaru strike zone that it started on that corner, and that's exactly what Tyler wanted. He wanted that pitch in that location because it came out of the hand looking like a fastball, but you got to tip your cap to Bellinger. He didn't swing at it.
Those are hard to let go twice, though. If he goes in that same neighborhood, you got to figure Bellinger's going to fire at it. Change up, 3-2. All right, Huey. Heater, slider, changeup. What do you have?
I think you do a little bit of a slider down and away from Bellinger.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I don't go back inside and low. So it kind of takes the changeup out of play.
It's funny going over your head because he's been prone. Bellinger has to fastballs a little bit up, stands upright. Usually catchers will try to go in under the hands with that kind of stance. He went changeup, or no, that's fastball, excuse me. And he loses Bellinger. And he also loses the opportunity to finish the 6th inning. Austin Barnes coming up. And Scott Oberg will be coming into the ball game. (102 pitches). Rockies down 3-0 in the 6th.
Your attention. Now pitching for the Rockies.
Coors Field, Rockies down 3-0. 2017 has special theme date ticket packages for everyone, including Star Wars Night, Yoga Day, Brewfest, Marvel Superhero Night, and much more. Visit Rockies.com/theme dates for more information. Scott Oberg called upon by Bud Black to possibly just finish this inning, maybe eat up another one.
He worked on Thursday against the Dodgers, had a rough outing, gave up 2 runs on 3 hits and a third of an inning. Rockies won that game 10-7, but they were up 10-0.
And for Scott, he's been unscored upon 10 of his 16 appearances this year. It's really just been a couple games for him. He gave up the 5 runs in the Washington game. And as you mentioned, drew a couple runs the other night against the Dodgers on Thursday night.
Barnes an RBI double in the 2nd and a strikeout in the 4th. 1 ball, 1 strike. changeup in there, 1-2.
Well, the two pitches that have been key for Scott have been the fastball, because it's now regularly sits at 96, 97, and then the hard slider in the upper 80s, low 90s.
Here's the 1-2, and that slider's in the dirt at 90. 2-2.
Let's just scrap the curveball. That's Scott. And the role he's being asked to pitch in, just two pitches is fine.
That's wasted. Five hits apiece, but the Dodgers have all the runs. Still plenty evening left. Top of the 6th inning, 2 on, 2 outs, and a 2-2 count. And Oberg spikes a breaking ball, and everybody moves up 90 feet.
Really hard pitch for Ryan to try to block as far out in front of home plate as that hit. He drops down, and then he just doesn't know where it is. He's trying to get some help.
Huey, if you're a hitter right now, you say, well, listen, he hasn't been close with his slider. I'm just going to sit on the heater.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that you've eliminated all the pitches. You're selling out right now for a hard fastball.
3-2. He got it. He had a jam him 97 miles an hour with the fastball.
And then he just turned around and asked Bill Miller, would that have been a strike? Bill said yes. And according to the Subaru strike zone, it would have been pitch number 7.
Another 3-2. And he went to the slider. He lost him, and now the bases are loaded for Brett Eibner. Back-to-back walks. One by Anderson, one by Oberg. Eibner hit a massive home run his last time up, 8th longest in baseball this year. 465 feet straight away. Looked like he went. He did. Home run, first in a Dodgers uniform for Eibner. Two strikes.
The last two sliders from Scott have been better. He was overthrowing the first batter in Austin Barnes.
Oh, 2. A ball, 1-2. Quick innings. Tyler Anderson had a 1-2-3 third and a 1-2-3 fourth. And now The 1-2, and he got it. So Oberg strikes out Eibner, and the bases are left full of Dodgers. LA leading 3-0. Arenado to lead off.
Three, 4, 5 for the Rocks. That means that Mark Reynolds is due up. Pat Valaika would hit fourth. I talked to Valaika about the infield, and I said, tell me about Mark Reynolds specifically. Interesting what he said.
I always knew Mark Reynolds for his power. You know, I never knew how good he was over there. And now that I've been up here, I just got to throw it near the bag, and he's going to catch it. So, yeah, definitely it's a nice feeling over there.
We know that Mark can hit, but yeah, his defense has been great at first. That's why we keep saying, be like Mark.
Well, Mark Reynolds will come up after Nolan, who's got an 0-1 count. He has struck out twice. This is as baffled as I've seen Nolan this year. He's on everybody, right?
Yes.
He does not pick up, or has not picked up, Alex Wood tonight. Wood has struck out 9 in 5 innings. That after striking out 11 in 5 innings against the Pirates.
And it's not just one pitch. I mean, it's all 3 pitches. He really just splits between the changeup and the slider. The fastball right around 50-51% of the time, then mixing the other 2 in.
Even that, Nolan didn't go, but you know, there's indecision. The great hitters, you have heard Helton talk about this. So many players talk about it. You've talked about it. They are able to identify out of the hand a little bit earlier.
That's what separates
than the mediocre hitters.
They're the separators.
You see, Nolan didn't identify that. 3-2. Something about Wood's delivery that has kept the Rockies completely off balance tonight. One of the hardest hit balls, one of the only hard hit balls, Mark Reynolds in the first, lined out to fairly deep right. And a leadoff walk.
There you go.
It's not the first time the Rockies had the leadoff man on. It's now the 3rd time.
And he had come into the game second in the National League in retiring leadoff batters at well over 80%. You know, of course, the guy we saw last night is first on the list. He's first on a lot of lists, Kershaw.
Kike Hernandez is in left, and Jock Peterson, who ran for Gutierrez, is in center. and a strike on Reynolds. Well, this is right. It is time to rally. And Miller calls out a strike on the inside corner, 1-2. That's a good slider. That's a great
really
pitcher's
hard.
pitch. Hard to stay off that.
Hard to stay off where it is, the location, close enough on the Subaru strike zone to try to entice a hitter out of the hand. It looks like a strike. Mark, good piece of hitting laying off that pitch.
2-2. Year-old Mark Reynolds, among the league leaders in a number of categories. On May the 13th, home runs, RBIs, batting average, brought a .331 clip into the ballpark tonight. Nolan's at first, a leadoff walk, 3-0 LA. That is 10 strikeouts for Wood.
Just a couple flyouts, 4 groundouts for Alex. That was the high fastball that just stayed on the upper portion of the strike zone. Mark couldn't catch up to it.
Hard to stay off that. 6th time in his career he struck out at least 10. His career best is 13.
Well, the other thing too, with a low pitch, it doesn't seem as fast as the high. But so you go to swing at it, but you never catch up to it.
Carr goes 1 for 2. And that is a double play. That's the hardest hit ball of the night. And wouldn't you know it, it ends the inning. Smoked it right at Bellinger, caught it, took 1 step. Mother's Day edition of the club. It'll come after our post-game show when the Rockies conclude their series against the Dodgers. Tony Walter's mother talks about what it's like to be a baseball mom, and Antonio Sensatella shares how the memory of his mom inspires him every day. That's tomorrow, a new episode of the club. And the Rockies making a pitching change. Scott Oberg is going to walk off the field. Mike Dunn's going to come on. Tell you more about Mike when we return. Time for our Cooney Lexus look back. The Dodgers in the second inning got a break here on a misread line drive. They went over the head of Parra. That scored a run, and then Alex Wood just a perfect bunt. And that produced the second run. And then Brett Eibner with his first home run in a Dodger uniform, 465 feet to straightaway center field. 3-0, and Alex Wood has made it hold up. Pitched 6 innings, allowed 5 hits, struck out 10. Mike Dunn will face Chase Utley, who is pinch hitting now for Wood.
Well, Buddy played the game with this half inning, sending Oberg back out there. They announced Chase Utley, so he goes and gets him to bring in Mike Dunn. It's not worked since that second game of the doubleheader against the Cubs.
One and one. They're 2-1. Levels the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes on former Philly star Chase Utley. Back in his neck of the woods in Southern California.
UCLA. And Garrett Atkins, teammates for the Bruins. Chase got off to a horrible start for the Dodgers. Really picked it up the last week to 10 days.
And Dunn fans Utley.
Trying to stay away from Chase Utley. Done with the slider. Utley just waves at it. In the bullpen for the Dodgers is Josh Field.
Taylor has to step out of the way. Mike falls behind 2-0. If you're interested in such things, there's some stats out on all of the video reviews this year. There have been 319 reviews throughout baseball this year.
Yeah.
46.4% have been overturned, so less than half. That's going to be a base hit.
You know, he had to wait on that call with Cargo and the Superman catches he's made this last week.
Came quickly, and then he's like, man, I can't get there. And then you don't want to run too close to it.
And then have it go back to the wall, and it's a triple. Cargo starts after this, thinking, yeah, I can get it. No. And wisely just catches it on the one hop.
Seager's 0 for 3. final line on Alex Wood. He goes 6 innings. Obviously didn't allow a run, just 4 hits. He walked 1 and struck out 10 on just 88 pitches. That's one of the more dominant 6 innings we've seen. 5 hits.
It was. He was in complete control of just the 88 pitches. Whether it was a fastball, changeup, slider. And you know, Buddy always talks about too is that the hitters will let you know how the pitcher's doing. And some of the swings and takes we saw tonight tells you that Alex had the upper hand.
Well, the Rockies will have to get it done against that vaunted Dodger bullpen. First things first, got to get out of this inning. 1 out, 1 on, 1-1 on Seager. Dunn will throw over. Tyler Anderson went 5 2/3, 3 runs, all of them earned, 5 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts for Anderson. So Tyler struck at 18 in his last 11 2/3.
It's not quite as many ground ball out. He only had 5 ground ball outs tonight.
You know, you could play woulda, coulda, shoulda. That ball that was misread for a moment by Parr was hit hard. It's not like there was a fly ball that was dropped. I mean, it was hit hard. But if that out is recorded, there's 2 outs, runner at second. And Gerardo's been a tremendous outfielder in his career. It's going to happen. But here's the bottom line: you haven't scored.
No, so I mean, even if you do, you're still losing. You got to find a way to find some offense.
2-2.
You got to keep it here first. There's still 9 outs to go.
And Dunn made a pitch right there. And on a slider, he strikes out Seager. That's the 2nd out in the 7th.
And the 2nd time Corey struck out tonight. Struck out in the 1st. And again here in the 7th. Both times it's been on the slider from Mike Dunn tonight. It's Seager, and he struck out Chase Utley with the slider. Just keeping an eye on Chris Taylor at first. Doesn't have a stolen base on the season, been caught a couple times.
Turner 1 for 3, and a good catch by Hannigan. You have to reach up and across your body to catch a 90+ mile-an-hour fastball.
And come out of your crouch.
That's going to pull on all the tendons and the muscles in that.
That's when you get
left
out
shoulder.
Yeah, get out of bed the next day and go, oh, that hurts. How
Why
did
does
that
my-
happen? Oh,
why is-
yeah.
Why does my
remember.
why does my lats feel like that? 2-0. Got our attendance tonight. Huey counted the right side, I counted the left side during the last commercial break. We came up with,
Yeah, we split the center field.
43,534.
Who wouldn't want to be at this ballpark on a Saturday night, 75 degrees?
Summers here. 2-0 on Turner. And one of the 43,534 is going to get a souvenir now.
Good time for this read then, because it's get on demand access to the rooftop with the Rooftop Ballpark Pass. $96 for 8 games. It includes concession credits. Choose the days and redeem your pass from your phone. Go to Rockies.com/rooftop for more information. A lot of fans up on the rooftop tonight for sure.
Line drive, right field line, and Taylor is going to get waved around. He's going to score. It's now 4-0. A double for Turner, 16 RBIs.
Well, we talk about baseball being a game of inches. Go back to last inning when Cargo lined out to first base. It ended up being a double play. This time Turner hits a line drive, probably not hit as hard. It was hit well to right field. All staying connected on the Subaru Supermo. That's a classic inside out swing. And then just out of the reach of Mark Reynolds. Goes all the way to the wall. So instead of being out of the inning and no other run in, get the extra run, and Turner with his 150th career double.
Well, Gutierrez got his 150th tonight. Now Turner got his 150th. John Peterson at the plate, his first at bat.
John got his 50th last night. 50th double.
Exit velocity on Cargo's line shot to turn into a double play was 107 miles an hour. He's got what, about 6 or 7 or 8, 105 plus over the last few days. Turner with that really nice inside out swing. That exit velocity was 94 miles an hour, but
that's what I'm saying. Just inches outside of Mark's glove.
The threshold, if you're wondering, there's classification: soft contact, medium contact, hard contact is anything with an exit velocity above 95 miles an hour. So that fell just under that threshold. The shot by Turner.
What'd you say Cargo's was on the
107.
107. Well, I know Thursday he had a couple up there with the single and the double, and also on Friday. Last night he had a couple balls that were well over 100.
Peterson fouls that into the third deck. A very nice gentleman up there with the catch, and quickly gave the baseball away.
Give it to a kid.
Dodgers kind of methodically have worked their way to a 4-0 lead. Great pitching from Alex Wood. They've got some timely hits. 1-2 on Peterson. And this kicks away for a moment. No advancement from Turner.
I think that was Ryan Hannigan that we heard saying, because he knew that wouldn't kick far enough away. He wasn't going to be able to just smother it. Take a listen.
I think he's mad at himself that he didn't open up.
Yeah, that he tried to backhand it. Maybe that's what it was.
Dunn's thrown 22 pitches, 11 in the zone, 11 out of the zone.
last couple games from Mike, just not quite as efficient with his pitches. 25 pitches in the game, second game of the doubleheader. Got just 2/3 of an out, or 2/3 of an inning.
Left field, fairly deep, but should be playable for Desmond. And it is in front of the track. In the inning, a couple of hits, a run-scoring double from Justin Turner. It's 4-0 LA, middle of 7th. Root Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Say yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by the Wyoming Office of Tourism, Wyoming is full of adventure. It's time to find out if you are too. That's why. Travel Wyoming.com. It's a very pretty picture. Josh Fields, second time the Rockies have seen him in this series. He'll pitch the 7th inning for LA. Got a minuscule ERA. His whip below 1. 18 strikeouts, just 3 walks. Pat Vallejo will be first up for the Rockies.
Came over from Houston last year. As we see the bullpen ERA, team leaders. Right at the trade deadline.
Fields kind of glaring in. He thought that was a first pitch strike. Looked pretty good.
Yeah. According to the Subaru strike zone, he has a right to wonder why.
Vallejo is 0 for 2. Robbed of a hit by Justin Turner's last time up. 1-1. Not playing shortstop every day in the absence of Trevor Story on the 10-day disabled list with a minor shoulder issue that happened when he was checking his swing a few days ago.
Talked to Trevor today. He always comes out during batting practice. Hasn't started any baseball activity yet, but talked to him. He said it's feeling much better. So my guess is probably be Tuesday when he kind of starts to ramp it back up again. The off day on Monday.
Rockies need to create some traffic. 3-1. Probably glad Wood's out of there. 6 shutout innings, 5 hits, a walk, 10 strikeouts. First time in Wood's career he has struck out 10 or more in back-to-back games.
Went for Josh too. I know what his numbers are, what he's done this month. 6 1/3. You know, only 4 hits, 6 strikeouts, but he's more conventional. Just really comes up, comes set, and there's really nothing different than what you haven't seen in the past.
Pretty typical of guys who wander out of the bullpen now. 95, 96.
What he does with his fastball, primarily with 2 strikes, he'll work from the belt to the letters. Doesn't like to go down in the zone. If he does, it's by accident.
Bryce Harper tonight hit a 2-run walk-off home run to beat the Phillies 6-4.
A couple walk-offs in the last few days. Matt Wieters had one against his former club.
It's the only game the Nationals salvaged against the Orioles. Your former club.
Yes.
Luis Avilan is the lefty. Pedro Baez, who right now is pretending to throw. And that's Adam Ottavino.
And he's waiting to throw.
This is playable in right field for Eibner. That'll bring up Gerardo Parra. Strike on Parra. Rockies have not hit a home run in over 44 innings now at home. Tardy swing from Parra, 2 strikes. Two strikes, Fields with 1 out, working a Parra. Ryan Hannigan on deck. Rockies tonight, 5 measly singles.
Yeah, the Ian Desmond single up the middle. That was a line drive in the first inning. And then DJ's the shot to right field. The other ones were just, he had a broken bat. We're seeing eye to left field, or left, I should say left center by Cargo.
Desmond stole second. Cargo with a base hit in the second and an infield hit by Parra reached second. Nobody's touched third base for the Rockies.
Keeps fouling and spoiling the pitches field, but they're trying to go up and away. It's pretty easy to see the pattern on the Subaru strike zone, what they're trying to do.
wants it up.
Fastball up.
And a little cut on it at 97, 2 outs. Rockies have fanned 11 times tonight. Major League Baseball, and this has been the trend for a number of years. A lot of home runs, a lot of strikeouts. Strikeouts are on another record pace this year.
You've got the guys, everybody coming out of the bullpen now throwing 95 plus, hard to hit, but when you do catch up to it, it goes a long way. This was just not the stigma of striking out that there once was.
I'll give you an example of this. The Rockies have struck out at 26.2%, or actually their whiff percentage is 26.2%. That's the 8th highest all time. You know what though? It's only 4th this year in Major League Baseball. Yeah, so a whole lot of swinging and missing going on throughout the sport. Some of it is what we keep telling people about. Everybody rolls out of the bullpens 95 to 100. There are more
definitely
hard throwers than ever before. It's not even close. The Rockies have a nice combination going. I was talking to Orel Hershiser about this, and that the Rockies lead baseball in ground ball percentage, something the Rockies have always aspired to do. Keep the ball on the ground, can't fly out of the ballpark, right? But you also have to miss bats. When you have traffic, and you're going to have traffic at Coors Field because it's such a large expanse to cover. So balls are going to get through, they're going to drop, etc.
Yeah.
Which means you got to get some strikeouts. And the Rockies have done a much better job in acquiring or nurturing young talent to reach this level who can not only get ground balls, but more importantly, when there's traffic, get strikeouts. Tyler Anderson tonight, he's on the wrong end of things, but he struck out 8 in 5 2/3.
You have to have a strikeout. You have to be able to go get it.
You know, Greg Holland in the 9th. We know Greg Holland can strike guys out. Adam Ottavino, who was warming up a short while ago, is going to get a high number of strikeouts. The Dodgers have that. They have one of the best in the game in the 9th. And Kenley Jansen, he strikes out about 2 for every inning he pitches. Hannigan will ground out. The Rockies go in order in the 7th. 4-0 LA. Time for our Kubota pitching performance. Alex Wood, Tyler Anderson, 2 lefties, and Alex Wood, no runs over 6 innings. He struck out 10, walked just 1. Anderson gave up 3 runs in 5 2/3. So we go on to the 8th inning, and Kike Hernandez will lead things off. Adam Ottavino trying to get the Rockies back to the dugout quickly.
It's been 6 days since Adams been out on the hill. Last time was against Arizona. Struggled with his command in that game. Ended up walking 3 batters. Gave up 1 earned run. That's kind of been the issue this year for Adams. He's got the strikeout ability, but just too many walks, too many big counts.
He misses badly there. Yeah, it's been an ongoing issue. And that's inside, 2-0. Hernandez a double in 3 at-bats. Kind of floats that foot out there before
He does.
putting it down.
Yeah, and it'll float towards the plate, and then it'll come back and try to get parallel again to the pitcher. Trevor does that a little bit with his front foot. But just watch how his front foot will go towards the plate and then swing around.
3-1. And Hernandez helped him out. He swung at that out of his hand. 3-2.
Yes, you're not even seeing the pitch. You just had predetermined, I'm going, swinging.
Three-2 on Hernandez. And a leadoff walk. That's 10 walks allowed by Adam.
First baseman, number 35, Tony Bellinger.
Another update on Tony Walters playing tonight as a DH for Albuquerque at Nashville. Nashville won the game. Tony was 1 for 4 with a walk. He hit a home run tonight. Cody Bellinger 0 for 2 and a walk. Adams a little hacked off. He threw a 95-mile-an-hour baseball at Mark Reynolds.
Mark had to take his glove off to make sure that he could get some feeling back in his fingers. And Mark, wait a second. That hurt.
One strike to count. 2 strikes to count.
Go there again. And go away. Bellinger. The slider.
4 runs, 7 hits tonight for LA. No runs, 5 hits for the Rockies. And that's strike 3. With the 96-mile-an-hour fastball, 1 out.
Hat trick tonight for Bellinger. You can take a behind-the-scenes tours of Coors Field. Group and individual tickets available year-round. Call 303 Rockies. Get behind the scenes.
And that's a strike on Barnes.
That's obviously what makes Adams so tough. 96, 97 with the fastball, slider that can break on 3 different planes at 3 different velocities. The key with any pitcher, you've got to be able to work ahead.
And another difficult throw to handle from Mark Reynolds.
Mark is ready. It's hard playing first base. The guy's not very far away from me, and he fires a ball, and you're expecting it to be somewhere, you know, around the middle part of your body, and then it goes above your head.
2-strike pitch, fastball's up. Pitch it.
Yes, it was.
Ground ball is short. Valleca gets 1 on to first. Double play. Nicely turned, DJ. Did a great job hanging in there. So we'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Rockies down 4-0. the 8th inning. Who Wants Tacos fans, we remind you to follow @RootSports_RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies do score 7 a game or more. 8th inning man for the Dodgers is Pedro Baez. The Rockies saw Baez for 2/3 of an inning yesterday, and he struck out both of the batters he faced, DJ LeMahieu and Nolan Arenado. The Rockies will go to their bench here. It's 9-1-2. Alexian Marista will pinch hit, and then it's LeMahieu and Desmond.
Say last night for Baez only took him 13 pitches. 2/3 of an inning. Hard thrower. He can get wild at times. Alexian Marista is a pinch hitter. 4 for 8. That pinch hit home run he had down in Arizona.
And I think when you look at the options for Buddy Black to kind of manage along with him, down by 4 runs, he has Charlie Blackmon, Raimel Tapia on his bench. Garneau's the backup catcher, but of those 3, you see Blackmon, you want to save down by this many for a position where, you know, his big bat could tie it or put you ahead. You need base runners right now.
Well,
yeah, Charlie's a great leadoff guy, but you want to hold him back.
Yeah, because he's got the power that either Alexi or Raimel don't have. Tapia was out last inning in the 8th inning or 7th inning, excuse me. He was on the on-deck circle when Ryan grounded out to 3rd. So to lead off the inning, just wanted to go with Lexi. Chad Quall's warming up in the Rockies bullpen.
That's in there, 2-1. This ball is in the air to left, and a routine play for Hernandez. So we've told you the Rockies haven't hit a home run in more than 4 games. If they fail to hit a home run tonight, it'll be 5. That's happened only 2 other times at Coors Field, 2010, 2007. The most it's ever occurred, 6 consecutive games back in 2004.
2007 was a good year. 2010 until the last 12 days, 14 days was a good year. A couple hits tonight, has 16 multi-hit games on the season.
Let's get 2 of the Rockies' 5 knocks tonight. Again, all singles. The only other base runner, Nolan, walked in the 6th. And another base hit for LeMahieu.
That puts his average up to 283. Slow it down, and I always look at, see how high the hands are right here. Okay, that's how high they start, but then when they go to swing, they're still in a good launching position. The hands are connected right here. You got the elbow close to the body, and then a firm front side to power through.
Desmond's 1 for 3. chased up. 0-2. Desmond trying to provide a little life for the Rockies. 1 out, 1 on. And this one, will it sneak through? Nope. 2 gone. LeMahieu to second, and Arenado will come up.
Third baseman, number 28, Nolan Arenado.
Like he always does, gets in the box, rocks back. He kind of goes back onto his heels to make sure that he doesn't have too much weight leaning forward. Each time he gets in the box, this is kind of his routine. I'm talking about Nolan. He'll start, he gets in there, but then his upper half. What he's telling himself now is don't get too far leaning forward. So if I start to go towards the pitcher or towards the plate, I have too much weight on the balls of my feet. Just provides you with a firm, solid base, and that's what hitting's about, getting a good base to hit from. Right now. So there's part of it, but also that last little bit where he leans back, you can see the arch in the back.
Ball and a strike. Baez last year made 73 appearances for the Dodgers. Gave up just 52 hits in 74 innings, and he struck out 83. League hit 195 against him last year. He's from Bani in the Dominican Republic. Called strike. Top of the zone.
It's just been one of those nights so far for Nolan. Kind of in between everything. Timing was thrown off first by Alex Wood, and now from Pedro. Tough ball to try to catch up to on the Subaru Supermo. Right at the top of the zone.
It's fouled off, out of play. Punched foul.
Right after that, Nolan checking his bat. Make sure he didn't crack it. So guys will grab their bat up towards where the sweet spot is and hit it with the palm of their hand and then listen for the sound. So off the end of the bat, Nolan's just trying to protect. Right there, he's listening. Nope, it's okay.
Ripped, caught. That's the second catch tonight on a hot shot by a corner infielder for the Dodgers. Bellinger did it to Cargo earlier, and Turner makes a special play there. He's had a couple of outstanding defensive plays tonight. He steals a base hit from Arenado. And it has been a frustrating night for the Rockies.
Building for the Rockies, lining out from Nolan Arenado. See the bat shattering. Ryan Spilborgs, Corey Sullivan here with you for the Toyota post-game show. I know it's Saturday night. We expect Saturday night fever, but tonight we had a little bit of strikeout fever. Alex Wood, Tyler Anderson, fantastic. We will break them down later on tonight.
My goodness, did Alex Wood have the Rocks numbers, though. 10 punch-outs. He gave them a dose of their own medicine, too. They were only able to manage 5 singles, something the Rockies pitchers have been able to limit. Unfortunately, went the other way tonight.
We're looking for a comeback, Drew. Huey,
Ninth
can
inning
you get us a
rally.
ninth inning rally? It's a beautiful Saturday night. Let's go.
You know what? We haven't had one here for a while. Let's do it.
There's 43,000 people begging for one.
The little Loto magic, is that what you're asking for? First things first, Qualls will handle the top of the 9th inning. Chad on with a sub-3 ERA. Brett Eibner will be the first man to come up, and then Scott Van Slyke has a bat, and he has a helmet on, and he's standing on the field, which is an indication to me that he's going to hit next.
Probably going to hit. Chad Qualls pitched last night, 1 clean inning, 3 ground ball outs, 11 pitches.
That ball lined to Desmond in left field.
And you're right, Drew. It will be Scott Van Slyke.
Quick deduction there.
Hey, while we have a minute, I want to wish get well soon to Chris Iannetta.
Absolutely. Chris got hit today.
Yeah, Chris got hit last night, actually. Yeah, in the game. Took a ball in the mouth from the pitcher, and it was pretty scary. I know he's doing okay today. Got some stitches, got a fracture, some teeth damage. So, Chris, I know you're probably not listening, but somehow if this gets back to you, we're wishing you all well and get healthy and get well soon.
You bet.
And there's a photo last night.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he turned right into it.
It takes us back to the opening series of the year when Keon Broxton got hit, and he played the next day because he wears that flap in front of the face. That is a strike on Van Slyke. And I just think it's going to evolve where you're going to see more and more players wearing it.
Reaction time. Trying to get out of the way. You're geared up for something. You start your swing. And yeah, that was ugly. The video's even worse. I know we showed the still picture, but folks, you don't want to look at the video.
No interest in that. Three and 2 on Van Slyke. Chris Taylor's on deck. Who wants it? Nolan will grab it, 2 outs.
We'll see how Dave Roberts plays the 9th inning with the 4-0 lead. Last night, he brought in Kenley Jansen. He's got Jansen warming up, but he also has Sergio Romo warming up. Well, looks like Jansen's firing to come in.
Romo's warming up if they expand this lead from 4 runs, which they're not going to do. Qualls does a nice job, works a 1-2-3-9. Dodgers up 4-0. Rockies down to their last licks. Been a tough night at the old ball yard for the Rockies. Alex Wood, as he's done to everybody so far this year, shut down the Rockies. No runs. He struck out 10 over 6 innings, just 5 hits allowed. And now the Rockies will have to face Kenley Jansen, and they're trailing 4-0. Mark Reynolds will be first. Cargo, Pat Valaika to follow. Jansen yesterday pitched the final, got the final 3 outs, I should say, in a 6-2 Dodger win.
He's been a little more human out on the road than he has been at Dodger Stadium this year. He's not giving up a hit there. 0 for 21 guys against Kenley. Out on the road, 10 for 31. Last night Mark faced Kenley, lined out to left field. I mean, it's going to be tough. No doubt about it. You get Jansen with all the saves that he had last year.
The ball cuts.
And that's what makes him hard to hit.
It's not that the velocity is otherworldly. It's, it's 92 to 95, but the ball cuts hard late. He's a believer. 1-1. Back up the middle. That is a good start.
Probably is right behind Mariano Rivera. The percentage of a cut fastball for Jansen's 87%. Those guys are believing.
Cargo a single, a ground ball to short, and he hit a rocket to first that turned into a double play. Line drive that Bellinger caught and stepped on the bag as he was holding on Nolan Arenado at the time. Got a bunch hits. 2 strikes.
I've seen guys do everything, try to hit that cut fastball. They'll stand off the plate. They'll move up so they catch it before it really cuts. I've seen him in the back of the box. It's hard when it's the last 3 feet or 4 feet, it seems like, that it starts to move on you.
See where he's working Cargo up in the zone.
Barnes just coming out of the crouch and is in a semi-crouch.
In the yogi stance.
Good, calling for it up.
One out.
Shortstop, number 4, Palika.
Here's Valleca. Good swing.
Good pass.
Two strikes.
They list Jansen at 6'5", 275 pounds.
We were talking about it yesterday. He's a mountain of a man. Reynolds at first, a leadoff single, 1-2. And Valleca is called out.
According to the Subaru strike zone, it was a strike by Bill Miller and called that way. Does this come across? About the belt. Pitch to hit, you try to lay off, and Jansen has you.
Here's Parra. Antonio Senzatella and Julio Urias tomorrow. Another lefty to face the Rockies for the Dodgers. Senzatella will be trying to win for the 6th time this year. And they'll need him big time tomorrow. Unless something changes right here.
Seems like he's been that guy all year long. That's Antonio. the other side, 3 games, 17 innings, giving up just 9 hits.
Just goes to show you, Huey, how hard hitting is. And, you know, Coors Field, for the 6 millionth time, great place to hit. You're going to score runs here, but you can pitch here also. And when you are really good, the other team doesn't score. We've seen it a bunch from Rockies. Tyler Anderson coming into tonight, a .342 career average at Coors Field, earned run average, I should say, at Coors Field. Senzatella's pitched well here. Freeland's thrown some gems here. The last couple of days, we've seen the Dodgers own the pitching categories. Kershaw yesterday. Tonight, it was Alex Wood, 6th shutout, and the Rockies fall 4-0 to the Dodgers. So the Dodgers have won 2 of the first 3. The Rockies will try to even up the series in the homestand finale tomorrow. Wood gets the victory. He is now 4-0. Tyler Anderson takes the loss. He is 2-4. It's the 3rd time the Rockies have been shut out this year. And it's the first time the Dodgers have shut out the Rockies at Coors Field in almost 3 years. July the 4th, 2014, the last time the Dodgers shut out the Rockies at Coors Field. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Rockies just could not pick up the 3-pitch mix from Alex Wood. Slider, fastball, and a good changeup. He struck out 10 in 6 innings. And he provides the Dodgers with our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. We get the final score. Los Angeles 4, Colorado 0. Our post-game show to follow right after these messages.